In this video, I'm going to take a look at the 50 to 100mm from Sigma and see how it compares with my Canon 70 to 200. The Sigma 50 to 100mm is designed to be used on an APS-C or Super 35mm sensor to replicate the same look and feel as a 70 to 200 on a full-frame body. Now, I use my 70 to 200 on a 7D Mark II and C100, and I'm not using this lens to its full potential. It was designed to be used on a full-frame sensor. That doesn't mean in any way that I'm not getting sharp images with beautiful colours, because I am. I shot 95% of my short film Go with him with this lens. The Sigma 50 to 100mm is a lens that has intrigued me, and I recently tested out the sister lens, the 18 to 35. I loved it, but I couldn't quite bring myself to part with the cash for it. So how does the 50 to 100mm compare? The Canon is bigger and bulkier, but that's to accommodate its longer range and image stabilization, which the Sigma sadly doesn't have. The Sigma has a nicely damped zoom and focus ring just like the 18 to 35, and it is made from the same high quality materials. It's got a matte finish, which I'm sure will get scruffy over time, but I can't see me ever handling this lens roughly. The range is a nice 50 to 100mm, which covers a lot of the zoom range I would normally use on a day-to-day basis on a shoot. Unlike the Canon though, the Sigma is gasping for air when you do a focus pull, which was very surprising. Image quality wise, the Sigma to 50-100mm is outstanding, and it competes with the 70 to 200 from Canon easily throughout its zoom range. That is on a tripod though. It's a whole new ballgame as the lack of image stabilization becomes not just apparent, but it becomes a real problem. The autofocus is a lot slower than the Canon, but considering the price difference between the two of them, there has to be some trade-off. Unless you're doing sports shooting, which I don't recommend with the Sigma 50 to 100mm, then you don't need exceptionally high speed autofocus. I use my 70 to 200mm as a second angle during interviews, and it's always a great lens for that. The Sigma 50 to 100mm is nearly as good in terms of its highlight roll-off and detail, and would be fantastic in use as a second static camera angle. Pairing it with its sister lens, the 18 to 35, is great for interviews. I'm so close to jumping ship to do it. I feel a bit like I'm repeating myself when it comes to the 50 to 100, because all the problems I had with the 18 to 35 are right here in the 50 to 100. And all of them would be solved if I had a camera with inbuilt body stabilization, but I don't. If I did, I would be retiring my Tamron 24 to 70 and picking up an 18 to 35, but I wouldn't pick up the 50 to 100. It's not because I don't like it, I really do, but my Canon 70 to 200 has the upper hand with autofocus and stabilization, which I need on most of my shoots. The Sigma 50 to 100 is a fantastic lens though, and you'll be happy with it, especially when using it with a mirrorless camera and Sigma's own MC11 adapter. That's not to say you're not going to have fun with it on your own Canon APS-C or, like me, on a Canon C100 or C300. It's just you're going to need to be aware of its limitations. Thanks for watching. If you've got any comments, pop them down below, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.